My name is Ethan. I'm 25 years old. I still live with my parents in our three-story house in a suburb outside of a major city. I work in IT, doing part-time work for a new coffee chain called The Daily Grind. And the rest of the time, I manage all the online operations for my dad's electronics store, from the website, orders, customer support, to inventory management. My older brother, Michael, 27 years old, just got married to Ashley, 24 years old. It was a rushed wedding after 3 months of dating. I felt something was off the first time Ashley came over. She walked around the house, then stopped at my bedroom door, a smirk on her face. This room is so bright. The view is so open, perfect for doing yoga. I thought she was joking. Until yesterday, I came home from work to find my mom standing in front of my bedroom door, and Ashley was dragging my clothes out and stuffing them into large duffel bags. "What's going on, Mom?" I asked, not believing my eyes. "Oh, they need more space. Your brother's room is too small. You could move to the small guest room. Moving things around is normal." Ashley turned back, smirking. "Don't worry, I'll keep the room cleaner than you ever did." Before I could say anything, Michael stepped forward, hands on his hips. "You're old enough. Move out already. Aren't you embarrassed to keep living here?" My dad also rushed up from the kitchen. "What's all the arguing about? You're 25. It makes sense to give up the room now." I stood there looking at the room I had personally painted deep gray when I was 18, the desk corner where I had installed LED lights, the bookshelf I had put together with my own savings. Now I was being kicked out of that room just because my sister-in-law needed better lighting for photos to post on Instagram. But instead of getting angry, I just nodded. "Okay, give me 24 hours to clear everything out." They were surprised by my calmness. But I wasn't like that inside, because what they didn't know was I had been preparing for this moment for a long time. I didn't need to cry, didn't need to yell. I had something stronger. I controlled the entire business operation of my dad's store, from the bank accounts, orders, website interface to the inventory software. I had set everything up, and they had never bothered to learn how to use it. I didn't do anything illegal. I just revoked access, transferred customers to a new, more civilized and considerate model. Healthy competition. My friends called it silent revenge. I called it cleaning up. I packed my things in silence, every charging cable, every USB drive, every technical book. I personally sorted and neatly placed them in my suitcase. No one in the house stopped me. Ashley was scrolling through her phone in the living room, feet up on the coffee table, as if she owned the place. My mom mumbled something about finally some peace and quiet, and my dad didn't even bother to look at me. That night, I moved in with Kevin, my best friend from high school, who was renting a studio apartment downtown. He cursed nonstop when he heard the story, wanting to go back and yell at my whole family. I shook my head. "No need. I have a plan." The next day, I officially quit working at the electronics store, sent a short email to my dad. "I am resigning from my responsibility for all work related to the management system, orders, fan page, website, and digital bank accounts. The system will cease operating at 6 p.m. today." They thought I was bluffing. At 6:03 p.m., the entire website interface showed an error. The fan page didn't respond to messages. Orders were stuck in limbo with no one to process them. Dad called repeatedly. I didn't answer. Mom texted, "Family matters should be resolved within the family. Don't be childish." I didn't reply either. Instead, I started setting up my new store, a small operation for now. Online first, my warehouse was on the ground floor of a friend's rented house in a neighboring district. I leveraged all the connections I had made in the 3 years working with my dad's suppliers, loyal customers, technical groups, and most importantly, I had a reputation. I didn't need to steal customers. They came to me naturally when no one answered the calls from the old store. In just 1 week, I processed over 50 orders. I hired our old housekeeper, Maria, to help with packing. When I called her, her voice choked up. "Ashley fired me because I didn't clean the bathroom mirror well enough. Thank you for not forgetting me." I wasn't taking revenge. I was just rebuilding from the bricks they had discarded. Exactly 1 month after I moved out, I received a call from Michael. His voice trembled. "Ethan, can you come back and help Dad? The store is about to close down, Ashley. Ashley wants Mom and Dad to sell the house to get money to redo the shop. Mom has been crying nonstop. Dad drinks beer every night. I'm sorry, I only said one sentence. "I'm not coming back, Michael, but I can send you an instruction file if you know how to read." I hung up, looking at the small rented room where every item, every outlet was chosen by me. Then I smiled. No need to get angry. No need for retaliation. Just leaving at the right time. I didn't think things would turn around so quickly. Just over a month ago, I was standing in my own house listening to my sister-in-law talk about repainting my room, pastel colors. Now, they were in a complete mess. News of my family's electronics store ceasing to take orders spread quickly among technicians and longtime customers. Some familiar partners switched to ordering through my system. Faster, clearer, more dedicated service. I wasn't sabotaging. I was just doing my job well. My mom called again. This time, no yelling, no scolding. She spoke softly. Ethan, your dad has been sick for a few days. The store can't make ends meet. I don't know what to do anymore. I was silent for a few seconds. Then I gently replied, Mom should ask Dad again. I'm an outsider now. Ashley, on the other hand, was still living as if everything was fine. Her Facebook was still regularly posting stories of lattes and photos of her new bedroom. But I knew behind the scenes the whole family was struggling. They used to think I was a burden, a younger brother who didn't know his place. But the reality was, I had been carrying them for the past 3 years. Maria, the former housekeeper, now my assistant, told me that my dad sat on the porch every day holding a cold cup of coffee, his eyes staring blankly. Mom had lost weight quickly, and Michael was driving for a ride-sharing app at night because Ashley had just put a deposit on a new sectional sofa. I didn't gloat. I just felt calm. Sometimes the biggest lesson people have to learn is the consequence of the things they once looked down on. Next week, I'll be moving to a new location. The official store is opening. A team of 3, including me, Maria, and Ben, an old classmate, will grow into a small but professional system. I named it Ethan Tech. Both my name and a reminder, every beginning needs a reason. As for my old room, according to the neighbors, the walls are now torn down because Ashley insisted on installing a large full-body mirror without checking the electrical wiring. The whole upper floor is dark due to an electrical short. They said I was cold-blooded. Maybe they're right, but I didn't hurt anyone. I just withdrew, and the wind naturally changed direction. The grand opening of Ethan Tech took place on a gently sunny Sunday morning. No banners, no flashy decorations, just a simple wooden sign, neat shelves, a few pots of petunias along the walkway, and a friendly greeting when customers entered. I didn't need anything elaborate. What I needed was a serious start. More customers came than I expected. Some were old customers from my family's store, some were Ben's friends, and there were even some familiar electricians from Facebook tech groups. Everyone shook my hand, whispering, finally a decent place to do business. While I was writing an invoice, someone walked in who made me stop. It was my dad. He stood right at the door, his shirt collar frayed, his eyes sunken. Beside him was my mom. She avoided my gaze, her hand clutching a shopping bag. I stepped out, quickly greeted a customer, and closed the door. What do you need, Mom? Dad? My dad sighed, his voice choked. Ethan, I'm sorry I was hot-headed back then. Didn't think things through like you did. The store, it's practically gone. I don't know what else to do. I looked at my mom. She just nodded silently. Then I asked a single question. When you called me a burden, did you ever think about the time you would need me? No one answered. I turned back inside, took 2 bags of goods that had been packed since morning, parts that customers had ordered yesterday, and handed them to Maria to deliver. Then I said, I'm not angry anymore, but I can't go back to pretending nothing happened. If you need a chance, then you have to start as customers, not family. My dad nodded like a man who had just swallowed his old pride. My mom burst into tears for the first time, without blaming me. That afternoon, I sat alone on the small balcony holding a warm soy latte that Maria had made. The wind was gentle. Down the street, the faint sound of an ice cream truck jingled, and I knew I had finally stepped out of the shadow of a son who was underestimated to become a man who knew his own worth. Nearly a month after my parents visited the store, my life continued steady and peaceful. Ethan Tech had a stable customer base. I hired 2 part-time students, and Maria was officially listed as the store manager. Michael, my older brother, finally took the initiative to call, no longer with the arrogant tone of an older sibling, but a tired, trembling voice. Ethan, Ashley moved out. Dad is still drinking beer. Mom doesn't dare to go out. I don't know what to do either. I said nothing, just told him, you should start by apologizing. That day, Michael came to the store, stood silently outside the door for almost 10 minutes before daring to step in. I was wiping the display shelves when he spoke. I'm sorry for everything. You have the right to hate me. I looked at him. The one who used to boast about his older brother status was now just a lost man. I said, I don't hate anyone. It's just, I don't have any room left in my heart to keep making concessions. Michael lowered his head. Then he said something that made me pause. I want to learn again from the beginning. The system you built, the way you operate. Not to ask for a job, but to understand why our whole family was so wrong back then. I handed him a piece of paper, a hand-drawn operational flowchart of my store. Then I said, read it all. Understand it, then we'll talk more. That afternoon, I received a text message from my mom. Thank you for not turning your back, Mom is sorry. It was a short message, but I reread it several times. That night, I sat writing in my journal. On the last page, I wrote, forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about easing your own heart. Some things don't need to be said out loud, as long as you know you've moved on. On the balcony, the light from the pizza place down the street was still on. The wind still rustled through the leaves, and I finally was myself in the most grounded way. If you've listened to the very end of this story, thank you. Thank you, sincerely. Some hurts don't need retaliation, just a quiet walk away. And then time, growth, and persistence will naturally redraw the boundaries between where you were once excluded and where you have built your own place. This story isn't just about someone being turned away by their family. It's also about the journey of recovery, reestablishing self-worth, and learning to forgive without forgetting. If you have ever been underestimated, ever been pushed to the sidelines in your own home, remember you deserve to be heard. And then the time will come when you no longer need to demand anything, because your own life will be the clearest answer. If you empathize with Ethan's journey, please leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue following honest, deep, and healing stories. Thank you. See you in the next video.